It's all right. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem.
I try to get out a little for a walk each day.
It's good. Baruch Hashem. You got to do that. You got to stay in shape. Very good. No, I'm Yosef. Are we ready to go or no? Whatever you want.
We're ready. We're recording. We are live on Facebook. We're ready to go whenever Rebbe's ready.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna mute everybody and then unmute Rabbi Falk. You can unmute yourselves as you wish.
The parshas that we're dealing with this week, it's a double parsha, Behar-Bechukotai. They're parshas with a lot of financial advice for financial planning. Now, since I travel a lot, so I pick up a lot of books in the airport. There was a very fascinating book that I picked up. It's called Dollars and Cents. I don't know if you can, very, very interesting book. It's by a guy named Dan Ariely. He's an Israeli. And the book really is about how we misthink money and how to spend smarter. We make a lot of very, very silly mistakes in how we use our money. We very poor financial planning. One of the examples that he gives is something that happens to, I have a little bit of a Sholem Bayis problem with this. He tells a story, there's a guy who has to give his car into the garage. So he goes over, gives his car into the garage, and then he decides it's only 2 miles to his house, so he's gonna walk home. He starts walking and he gets about half the way, and all of a sudden it starts raining and it's mamish pouring. So he luckily, right as the rain, the storm starts, he's right by a convenience store. So he runs in there to pick up an umbrella so that he won't get drenched. Now, as he walks in, he sees the salesman pulling out from behind the counter a box full of umbrellas. And he notices that the umbrellas, there's a price on the umbrellas, $5. And he sees the owner takes off the $5 sign and he puts on a $10 sign. Now he's selling the umbrellas for $10. Right? The guy goes, it's pouring rain outside now. He says, look, I need an umbrella. The guy goes, fine, here you go. I have umbrellas, $10. The guy goes, $10? You sell them all then for $5. There was a sign there for $5. Why are you selling now for $10? He goes, it's a rainy day sale. It's $10 now. The guy goes, that's highway robbery. You're a crook. He goes, you don't have to buy the umbrellas. I'm right by a train station. There's a lot of people walking by here. It started to rain. I only have about 20 umbrellas, and they're all going to be sold for $10. Now, you, right? Supply and demand, right? How is right? Supply and demand, $10. You don't want to pay the $10. Go look for an umbrella, right? The guy looks outside, it's pouring rain. He's so upset.
Maybe if we would have paid $10 for the connectivity.
That was funny. Okay, let's call Rabbi Falk and tell him to sign back in.
My biggest fear is that Rabbi Falk continues speaking, thinking that we're listening. That's the biggest fear.
Okay, can you hear me again? Sorry, who's that? Eitan. Oh, Yaakov Kalman, Baruch Hashem, Seder. Okay, so this guy does not buy the umbrella, and it's silly because that umbrella really is worth much more than an extra $5 for you to have that umbrella. But we don't think, we use our emotions. We don't want to be taken as a sucker paying an extra $5. So therefore we don't buy something which is worth much, much more than $5. I have the same problem with my wife when we travel. My wife gets migraines sometimes if she doesn't drink. We go to the airport, she needs water, $3 for a bottle of water. No way she can buy a bottle of water for $3. Right? I said, you're not buying a bottle of water. You are taking medication that you should not have a migraine. Do you want to have a migraine? And she's like, so I buy a bottle of water. She should have a bottle. We do not think right financially. This week's Parshas B'li Ayin Hara gives us hadracha in how to manage our finances. It's very interesting. The Parsha starts off, very strange Rashi. Parshas Behar is my inyan Shemitah Eitzel Har Sinai. And Rashi explains that all of the klolim and all of the halachas of Shemitah, just like they were taught at Har Sinai, likewise, all of the halachas of all of the Torah, also all the halachas were taught. Torah Shebechsav, was all taught at Har Sinai. He says, what's the connection? Why Dafka Shemitah? He says, the reason for Shemitah is because Shemitah is a very, very special mitzvah. A person doesn't work on Shabbos. The big Mesiras Nefesh. You sure you have to be talking in the Kodesh Baruch Hu? I don't work on Shabbos. I'm going to still make a parnasa. By Shemitah, what a person does is for a whole year, he closes down shop. You know, we're going nuts with Corona, a month, 2 months, we're not working. And the whole economy is falling apart. Shemitah, you close everything down for a year, sometimes for 2 years, and the Kodesh says, don't worry, everything is going to be good. Very solid partner with deep pockets. And Baruch Hashem, Kodesh Baruch has deep pockets. And if we take him into the business, B'li Ayin Hara, things will be good. And he says that we have to learn
I'm going to see if Rabbi Falk could call in from a phone instead.
one second, 646 558.
Rabbi Falk is going to attempt to call in right now.
8656. Okay, I'll call right now. Can you hear me? Are we good? Can people hear? Joey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
You hear me or no? I called them, but she didn't give me the ID number or something. There's a number I have to punch in. Good.
We can hear
What
you.
is it? Again, 8387 6900 You can hear me? Let me call in 1 second. I apologize. I'm sorry. Can you hear?
Bravo, you're back on. We're here on Zoom.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Okay, 761. Okay, I'm back on. You hear me? Okay. Okay. Lamaisa, we have to use our money in the right way. Now, we have to use the money in the right way, even with Goyim. There's a very interesting halacha in this week's Parsha. The halacha is
Nope.
if a Jew was
Yeah, this is not working out.
Okay.
Rabbi Falk, you are ready to go.
Okay, great. I'm sorry. I apologize for the balagan. Okay, so the Maisa, this Jew was bought by a goy. The Jews, if they wanted to, could go in there and just rip him out and clobber the goy and not pay him. The Torah says, Rashi brings down, you're not allowed to do that. Even though you could force the goy to free the Jew, you have to pay the goy everything. You have to compensate him all of the money that he paid to buy this Eved, and you should buy him out. Like even with the goyim, you have to be straight. You have to be straight with your money, and you have to be mekadesh Shem Shemaim. I saw today, Mamish, a beautiful thing. I'm sure you all saw, but in the New York Times, in the Daily Mail, in England, they're all running this story that the Orthodox Jews make up over half of all the plasma, which has been donated to help cure people who have the corona. And one of the things that they're writing is because the Jews have a tremendous appreciation for life. And the shuls are going out, they're making big, thousands of Jews have gone. There's a guy in Mayo Clinic, a guy, Dr. Michael Joyner from the Mayo Clinic. He says that it's our Orthodox friends who are giving, he says, I have no doubt they've given over half of all of the plasma there. And we have to be Mekadesh Shem Shemaim, right? We have to use our money to make a Kiddush Hashem. Now, there's a very interesting halacha, this week's Parsha, of ribbis. You're not allowed to take interest. Now, interest is it's a strange thing to prohibit because all of the financial dealings in the world work on interest. And there's really nothing wrong, there should be nothing wrong with taking interest. As a matter from a goy, you're allowed to take interest. The halachas of interest should be brought down, one would think, in Choshen Mishpat, because Choshen Mishpat deals with, stealing and gazel, and if you do damages to someone, that's what Choshen Mishpat deals with. But the halachas of ribbis are not brought down there. They're brought down in Yeridea. Yeridea are the mitzvahs that are bein Adam Lamakom, between us and the Kadosh Baruch Hu. The halachas of tzedakah are brought down in Yeridea. Reb Shimshon Rav says that there's really nothing wrong with taking interest. Just like you say would rent someone something, and you can take money for that. So you should be able to take interest. Your money, it's your money, and you should be able to use it to make money. He says, why are you not allowed to take interest from a Jew? He says, because you have to take your money and be mekadesh it. You have to take your money and use it and raise it up and use it for a holy goal, which is to help a fellow Jew. Reb Shimshon Rav says, Mamish, radical. He says, it's not the poor man who has to search for a rich man, but the rich man who has to look around for a neighbor who can make use of his surplus wealth, and much more. In a much higher sense, the rich man gains much more than the poor man, because the poor man, he needs the physical support of the rich man. But the rich man, by giving and lending and using his money for good things, the rich man elevates his money and shows he's mekadesh Shem Shemaim, and he shows that he's using his money in recognition that HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the whole world, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give me what I need, and we have to help our brothers. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with ribbis, but we have to strive to take that money and use it for a higher goal. That's why you can lend to a goy with ribbis, because there's really nothing wrong. It's an accepted thing. Very interesting. It's in the end of the next of Behar-Bechukotai, Reb Shimshon Pinkus has a very, very beautiful concept. He says, why is it that we find that whenever we're promised schar, reward, financial reward, it's always agriculture. You read Shema, v'nosati matara yitzechem bi'ita yorel makosh, and you'll collect a sapta degoncha v'tiroshcha v'tzarecha. Your fields will be bountiful, and if chas v'shalom no, v'chora ap Hashem b'chem, atzaris v'shamayim, it's going to stop raining. It won't be mutter. The ground will not get. All of the promises of schar that will be repaid, schar in this world, it's all agriculture. Give me some real estate. Give me some gold. Give me some diamonds. Give me some stock options. In the base of Mikdash, in the Mishkan, there was gold, there was silver, there was all kinds of good stuff. Why does the Kadosh Baruch Hu promise us only schar in agriculture? It'll rain, you're going to have food, your crops will be blessed. Give me some real stuff. Give me some real money. The real money is in real estate. The real money is in diamonds. That's what the real money is. Why don't we get promised ever anything besides agriculture? So Reb Shimshon Pincus says in Meir Kazakh, he says that the idea, a rich man can give a tremendous gift to a poor man, and then he won't see the poor man anymore. It says by the Nochash that he eats anything, right? He eats from the ground. And it has its food all the time. That was the klal of the Nachash. What kind of curse is that? It's great. He's always fed. But it's like a father who can't deal with his son. He gives him a credit card. He says, get out of my life. I don't want to see you. Kadosh Baruch Hu wants us to have a relationship with him. And the way we have that relationship is he gives us blessings, but those blessings are dependent on that we keep that relationship. So therefore, all the blessings that a Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us are blessings like agricultural blessings for the people he's close to. Because he wants us, a farmer has to go, it has to rain. If it doesn't rain, he's not going to be successful. So therefore, Kadosh Baruch Hu, we daven to Kadosh Baruch Hu, I need rain, right? I need that there shouldn't be, bugs shouldn't come and eat my crops. I need that the weather should be good. You're constantly connected to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So all the blessings that a Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us in the Torah are blessings that keep us connected. There's a beautiful, beautiful mindset. There was a guy, he was a bagel macher. He used to bake little rolled bagels, and he would sell them in the market. And he's sitting there with his bustan, his little counter in the shuk, and people are coming and buying his bagels. And a person walks up to him. He's a Frumiyid, this guy, and another Jew walks up, and he sees the guy sitting there learning while he's selling the bagels. So he starts telling him, he asks him, what are you learning? So the bagel macher starts telling him what he's learning. And it turns out that this bagel macher is a tremendous, tremendous Talmid Chacham, a brilliant, brilliant Talmid Chacham. And this guy who came to buy the bagels from this guy, he's blown away by this guy's greatness in Torah. And he sees it. He's like, what the heck are you doing? You're selling bagels in the shuk. I want to make a deal with you. Let's go to a Rav, and we will make a Yisachar Zulin. I will pay for you. I'll give you double what you make selling bagels, and you'll sit and learn. Fine. So they go to the Rav, right? And the Rav also is super impressed with this bagel macher. He's like a brilliant Talmid Chacham. And they write up a Yisachar Zulin, and they sign it, and fine. And the bagel macher goes back, and he's learning, and the guy's paying every month. And then all of a sudden, the bagel macher comes back to the guy, and he says, listen, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to cancel the deal. So the wealthy guy says, I don't want to cancel. Why? You want more money? I'll give you more money. He goes, no, I don't want money. I just want out of the deal. I don't want the deal. So the guy goes, you can't be signed an agreement. He says, look, I'll go with you to a dendera. I do not want to continue in this deal. They go back to the Rav. And the Rav says to the guy, is he paying you on time? He says, yes, he's paying me on time. Is he paying you enough? He's paying me fine. The guy's a wonderful person. I have absolutely no kindness on him. So he says, so why do you want to stop the deal? He says, let me explain to you. I lived a very simple life. I had a farm. I would plant my wheat, and I would daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, it should rain. And I had to pour out my heart. And there were days when it didn't rain, and I mamish daven to Hashem, and Baruch Hashem, finally Hashem, it would rain, and I would have some rain. And then I had to go out there every day, and I had to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that the wheat should grow well. And I had to daven that there shouldn't be chas v'shalom any plagues or any diseases to my wheat. And then I needed good weather. And I would daven. And then I had to harvest the wheat, that the harvest should be successful. And again, I had to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he says, every single day I had to daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I had to beg him, please give me parnasa. And then I would have to grind the wheat and make flour. And that had to come out good. And the wheat had to be good. And then I had to make my bagels, and they shouldn't burn. And every day I begged the Kadosh Baruch Hu to help me. And then every day I had to go to the shuk, and I had to sell my bagel. And some days I sold more, some days I sold less. I had to daven to Kadosh Baruch Hu. He says, I was connected to a Kadosh Baruch Hu all the time. He says, now I sit at home, and I don't have a relationship anymore. The Rav said, you're right. The deal's off. The man should go back and make the bagels. And that's Parnasa. It says in Sfar Magdoshim, we think that because we need things, therefore we have to daven. I need health, so I have to daven, so I should have health. I need money, I have to daven, so I should have money. It says in the Sfarim that it's the opposite. The reason why we need things is so that we should daven. The whole tachlis of the davening is that we should have that relationship with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that we should be closer, we should be connected. That's what it's all about. It's about that connection. And in order that we should have that connection, so Kadosh Baruch Hu, we need this, so we have to ask for it. We need this, we have to ask for it. But it's all about the connection. The money that we have, we can take it and we can use it to bring us closer at a hakara of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, to realize that He is the one who controls the whole world, and we can do mitzvahs with it, we can do gewaldige things with it. And Parnasa, the tzarsa that we have, and someone's sick, chas v'shalom, connects us back up to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's all in order so we should have that connection. And that connection is the most critical thing, and it's the most beautiful thing that a person can have. That's what we have to do with our money. Rabbi said there's a beautiful, beautiful Maisa. The Darchei Musar, he brings down in Parshas Behar-Bechukotai. It says, in Bechukotai Telechu. Open up here to the Chumash. Right here. In Bechukotai Telechu, Ves Mitzvosai Tishmeru, V'asisa Moisa. So Rashi says, what does in Bechukotai Telechu mean? He says, it's not talking about kiyum mitzvahs, just keeping mitzvahs, but it must be talking about limud haTorah. That's to walk in my ways, that we have to learn. The son of the Alter from Kelm said, he said, what's in Bechukotai Telechu you should walk? He says there was once a gathering, it was a party, and there were 10 people sitting at a table. And they're all sitting around the table, and everything is great, and they're partying, and they're enjoying their meal, and they're singing, and they're dancing, and finally the party's over. And the 10 people at the party, they all looked exactly the same. But after the party was over, 9 of them got up, and 9 of them walked away. They were able to walk. And one guy sat there at the table. So they said to him, what are you doing here? So he said, he has no legs. He can't walk. He says that we all sit around the table. You know, when we're in yeshiva, it's very easy. We're learning. But when we have to go out into the world and we have the nisyonos and we have challenges about being honest and about being straight and about constantly remaining connected to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, so then we see if the person is able to walk or he's not able to walk. Can we walk? Get up? Can we walk away from that table? And when we go out to those challenges, can we walk? And if a person is connected to the Torah, there's a beautiful thing that we have this chabura again of getting together and we learn together. Because without the limud Torah, without being connected, without the learning, so then a person flips. We can't walk. We're not going to be able to walk out and meet those challenges. But if we hook up with the Torah, if we learn, so then Mitzvah Shem, it'll be Telechu. We will be able to continue walking. We'll be able to meet all the challenges, and we will be able not only to meet the challenge, but be able to grow from all the challenges, and we will stay constantly connected with the Kadosh Baruch Hu through our tefillas and through our mitzvahs. Rabbi Sai, a grace, thank you. I'm sorry about all the difficulties. I'm going to speak to Joey after Mitzvah Shem. We'll try to get it straightened out for next time. Call to
Shkoyach, Rebbe.
Thank you. Shkoyach.
Thanks, Rabbi Falk.
Yishkoach.
Okay, who wants to pitch in to pay for Rabbi Falk's internet?
כמה זה?
Right, did a great job, but don't do it now.
Up 8:10.
You did a great job.
How you doing?